Oh, there's a group here on me. Smoked his shit. I'm fighting the one at the bottom. Oh my god. No! Oh my god! Let's fucking go, dude! We rank 1, let's go. Yo, I'm barely doing that. Fucking. Yo, what is good, you guys? Welcome to the video. Today I'm going to show you the best builds for Spellblade that I have tested in the new expansion. There are two main builds that I'm using for small scale, as you see in the video, and there is one video that I'm using for medium to large scale That includes Meteor. However, some of these skills are interchangeable, and all of the builds are pretty much viable in PvP in general. I'm gonna go ahead and hop right into it. All right, so the main build I want to show you guys, it is my small scale build with Fatal Stigma. I've decided to go with the Peerless Obsidian Dagger since the Burkent daggers are not available. I just didn't want to wait. However, I do think that these daggers are a bit better at countering evasion users. So let's go ahead and hop into the details. Most of the passives are the same as my previous Queen PvP build, in which I'm still using. But what's different is we have taken out Inferno Wave for Fatal Stigma. Now, Fatal Stigma does have a little bit of AoE, not as much as Inferno Wave. This makes it slightly harder to proc Queen because we don't have the burning follow-up of Inferno Wave, but what we do have is more anti-heal. So for more single targets, bursts against those both staffs or against healers or just priority targets, stacking Focus Firebomb into Fatal Stigma, stacking 2 sets of anti-heal, rotating that anti-heal on these targets allows a really good amount of burst. And essentially what happens is once they die with Fatal Stigma on them, it also resets the cooldown. So Fatal Stigma has no cooldown at a high skill level when you're using this properly to secure kills. I'll usually use it when an opponent is closer to like 30% or below 30%. And I'll make sure I have enough follow-up damage in order to burst them. And also keep in mind that it does the more damage, the lower HP they are. And when targets stealth, that they explode. This is an amazing, amazing, amazing skill. Let me go ahead and hop into the skill specializations really quickly. Using Burning Smokescreen again to proc the Queen Bell procs. If you have Fire Daigons, this is still somewhat useful for the slow and the burning procs so that you can get more heavy attack. However, this is I would say best in slot for a Queen build. Chain AoE, Judgment AoE, standard stuff. Victorious Energy because I am running mostly a hit glass cannon build. And then for my dagger skills, always the skill range and the shadow escape return. The CC immunity on camouflage cloak, even though this skill seems to be somewhat bugged. I will notice myself getting hit out of this earlier than I should be. I'm not sure if that's intended, but seems a little buggy right now. Most of the time it works. Sometimes I'll get knocked out of cloak, or sometimes I'll get knocked out of my camouflage cloak immediately. Really weird. But yeah, Fatal Stigma, the AoE damage with shield block, pin, and then the cooldown reset when a target dies, and then the extra damage based on their HP. This is really good for securing a kill, especially if you think your target's gonna stealth. You can do damage on them while they're stealth, and it also tells you exactly where they are when those damage numbers proc. Now that is the main build that I'm running, and then the second build is the Queen PvP build. This Queen PvP build is made solely for burning stacks, AoE burning stacks on Inferno Wave. You want to always use Inferno Wave as a follow-up to a Focus Firebomb. You can Shadow Escape into Brutal Incision into Burning Smokescreen and then bind them into the Burning Smokescreen so they're sitting there burning with triple burning stacks from your 3 main skills. The skill specialization for this, I'm getting most of what's on Inferno Wave and only the basics in Dagger. The most important, like I said, part of this build is really just making sure that you're rotating Focus Firebomb into Inferno Wave and then Shadow Stepping in to get the Burning Smokescreen off and binding them into the Burning Smokescreen, forcing them to take extra burning stacks. It's really important, really vital. The Masteries, I did go over a full detailed mastery video for those of you that would like to look at it. However, the masteries that I generally use because I have Queen Bell is Burning Ripple because of the chance to apply more burning, and every time I apply burning, I have a chance to proc Queen Bell. I have noticed that dual cast is slightly bugged. It says that all staff skills should fire 2 projectiles. However, only certain staff skills will work, and majority, like all your auto attacks work. This seems again bugged. I really hope the developers fix this, because even the way that this spec is now, it's insanely strong. Like insanely strong. But I think there might be either this is written incorrectly or there's a bug. Hopefully they address that. But even as it is still pretty strong. Firewave Amplifier giving me more range on my Fireball and Inferno Wave. And even when you don't use Inferno Wave, when a enemy dies, the Inferno Wave will come from their dead body. So this achievement effect increases the range even on the after death Inferno Wave. So this build is just made around AoE and flame burning procs. Another spec that I use is the detonator spec. However, the only problem with this spec is that you don't get the bind on Ice Spear Bombardment. You cannot use it. However, you do massive damage with your Ice Spear Bombardment. So you typically want to use this Flame Bombardment or Detonator Bombardment is what it changes into after you've applied all burning stacks. Now, one thing to note, or two things to note, I should say, when you use this spec for Detonator Bombardment, make sure you take off the bind. You can put extra damage on Burning Smokescreen, or you can put Effect Accumulation on Shadowscape for Thunderclouds stacks. And one other thing, so I typically will use Icebound Tomb in order to CC priority targets or CC melee users that are aping. Another thing you can do to have more combo damage is swap Icebound Tomb for Ankle Strike. Anywhere where you see Icebound Tomb in my build, you can swap it for Ankle Strike. That way you have another knockdown CC. You pretty much will Shadowscape into the Ankle Strike, or you could Shadowscape and bait their block into the Ankle Strike, because you have a few seconds, about 2 seconds, to use the Ankle Strike from the bind. There you have it. Those are my builds. I want to go ahead and show you guys the main rotation for the Fatal Stigma build. I think the clean build, I'll show a bit after. But essentially, let's say you're approaching a target. You typically want to focus Firebomb into Fatal Stigma, and then you could Shadowscape, Brutal Incision, Burning Smokescreen. Let me show you guys the Ankle Strike combo as well. So it would be Focus Firebomb, Fatal Stigma, Shadow Escape, or you could Focus Firebomb, Shadow Escape, Fatal Stigma, Ankle Strike, Brutal Incision, Burning Smokescreen. Let me show you the first combo. It's Focus Firebomb, Fatal Stigma, Shadow Escape, Ankle Strike, Brutal Incision, Burning Smokescreen. At that point, you can Detonator Bombardment into a Judgment Light. This combo is essentially utilizing all of your burning stacks to get the maximum amount of damage. But like I said, this spec is typically better in groups, whereas the Icebound spec is typically better in solo or super small scale, because the extra bind is honestly huge. You lose the damage on Detonator Bombardment, but like I said, the extra bind is absolutely huge. It looks similar, but let me go ahead and show you guys the clean PvP combo. So it's going to be basically Focus Firebomb into Inferno Wave, into a Shadowscape, Brutal Incision, Burning Smokescreen, Ice Spear Bombardment, Judgment Lightning. I'll fully buff Focus Firebomb, Inferno Wave, Shadowscape, Brutal Incision, Burning Smokescreen, Icebound, or Ice Spear into Judgment Lightning, and you can finish with a Chain Lightning. And after that, typically your main rotation is mostly up. Your Focus Firebomb, your Inferno Wave is back up. You can go back into another combo or a finisher. I really hope that these combo tutorials and these builds help you guys out. But while I'm here, let me go ahead and show you my gear that I've currently obtained in the new expansion. I'm currently rocking Peerless Obsidian Daggers with Perception, Shield Block Chance, Queen Bell, Perception, Shield Block Chance, really just bursting these shield users while also getting 70 Perception to raise my hit. So that way, when I use Victorious Energy, I am closer to 1600 hit. I will be going for 3k hit in game. I'm using the hit helmet, First Light Halo. This could also be replaced with the heavy attack Ogre helmet. I'm using the scaled resistance chest piece for the max health weaken chance hit. The weaken chance is going to help my burning procs. And then I'm using the max range cape. The hit cape is also a very good alternative for more smaller scale. However, the range is better for large scale. I am currently sitting at around 26 meters per skill, and my large skills like Meteor are sitting at max range 27.5 meters, so 26 and 27 meters on average, because of my my mastery as well as my gear. Getting a little bit of extra range from the Shadow Harvester, but I will replace these with Spectral Overseers. I'll replace these with Spectral Overseers as well. Getting a bit more hit into the build, and then I'm looking for the Imperial boots at some point. However, this is my current setup. This is my progression. I know I'm missing the 50 strength. However, I think the extra crit and the extra base damage is a bit more important because it's very hard to hit 50 strength with these daggers because you just don't have the extra strength from the Dark Slayers anymore. So we're just going 50, 50, 70, 30 strength. The 40 strength is not really worth it for the damage reduction. Kind of nice, but it's not really worth it. We're mostly glass cannons, so we just want the maximum amount of damage. Thank you so much for watching the video, you guys. I got to get back to grinding. Hope you guys enjoy it. Peace and love, gang.